lovelies. Thank you so much for being here. Always appreciate it. This pick a pile is for what are you releasing and what are you embracing. So just some more information in that regard. So this is pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. And please remember, only take what resonates with you. Use your own discernment. Don't try to fit any puzzle pieces where they don't belong, okay? This is a general reading. So if you are wanting a personal reading, my information is down below in the description box, as well as the timestamps for each pile. Okay, let's get started. Hi, pile number 1. So let's look at your cards. What are you releasing and what are you embracing? So before I even start with this, when I was pulling the cards to start the pick-a-piles, when I pulled this card before it even flipped over, I heard letting go of control and letting go of the need to be right. So let's start with what is being released. I like to sit with it for a couple of seconds before I even start pulling other cards to see what comes in first. So what I'm getting from this with what's being released is there's a cycle that you have been going round and round in. And it feels like with each of these, I'm just going to show it. It's like I'm seeing the cycle, but I'm seeing like your awareness of the cycle. It keeps increasing. It keeps increasing. And it feels like you're starting to really see more of this cycle, and it's helping you to move in different ways. How do I explain that? I'm not seeing somebody who's like, oh, I see a cycle, it's done and gone. I'm seeing somebody who has experienced the same kind of thing over and over and over and over and over. But every time you've experienced it, it's like you feel, yeah, you're going to feel similar things in that cycle, but you're learning different things. So it's not that it hasn't been a valuable learning experience for yourself. It feels like it has been, but it feels like it's been very hard. And it's like your awareness, and I want to say self-awareness, of the part that you play in this cycle is becoming more and more and more obvious to you. You're starting to see it more and more. And because of that, it's helping you to go about it in a different way. See different perspectives, see different options, see different choices and decisions that can be made. And maybe you've been making those in the other cycles that it's gone through, and it still came back around. So then you're learning again, but it's like you're incorporating what you've learned and bringing it forward still in the cycle. But it feels like the illusion, I guess you could say, the not being able to see the cycle, it feels like that's what's being released. You're starting to be able to see a little bit more clearly. And perhaps the past ways of dealing with whatever this cycle is about is starting to shift and change. You're going about it in a different way. The self-awareness is becoming greater. I don't feel like this cycle is something that is done, because we're not like, there is a full moon right here, but with this moon, it feels like there's still some more self-awareness that needs to happen in order to move out of this cycle. And that it doesn't feel like too much more, to be honest, but it does still feel like there is more for you to learn. And to be honest, I feel like you're aware of this. I don't think that's new information. It doesn't feel like new information whatsoever. And I think learning, okay, so before I even continue, sometimes I don't even need to pull more cards. Sometimes I just straight up channel, which I am right now. So I'm just going to roll with it. If I feel the need to pick any more cards, I will, but it's just straight channeling right now. But I feel like learning your relationship with yourself, self-awareness, and how control plays a part. Because I did get that message, the need to be right and the control energy. When those happen, it's not something to beat ourselves up for. It's something to look at as a valid emotion that is hiding another emotion underneath it, or a situation, or a hurt, or a pain, which is another emotion. But it's like starting to see more layers of self so that you can continuously see more awareness of the cycle and the role that it plays and your part in it. But it feels like with the control energy, I'm not getting, I honestly, I don't really get the energy of, oh, you're being too controlling, you better stop that right now. Like, I don't get that from spirit. What I get is, this is the energy of it, and it's something that you can, oh, I just heard pre-existing. It's something that you can work with and learn to understand yourself deeper and decide if that's something that you want in your life or not. Like, it just is. So it's not something to beat yourself up over. Spirit's very kind that way. Pre-existing. So some of you, okay, so honestly, a lot of us, we learn stuff from our parents or from the people who have taken care of us or the people that we've spent the most time with. And learning what, how do I put this? The stuff that we've learned from them, seeing if it's valid in your life right now or the role that it plays can be really helpful. Again, it's not anything to be harsh about or beat anybody up about or yourself about. You can be very kind about this. And it's just observation, right? Because that's what she's doing. She's observing. And also, what I'm getting from this card with her wearing the mask, normally when you see the mask, you see somebody who's trying to hide. And what I get with this is it's almost like they're going inside and introspecting and kind of figuring that out more than showing themselves out. But I'm also seeing what's in front of her, and it looks to me like what I'm getting from this, it's like gold, and it's like wearing a mask to not really see the gold. And it could even be like a gold nugget. But it's like sometimes we have to go inside and figure out how our subconscious, what we've learned, Yeah, I just heard pre-existing. Maybe that controlling energy that I'm picking up on is something that was taught to you. Like, it feels very feminine in nature, to be honest, but it could also be masculine. But it's got the energy of, like, when you try to control, it's because you don't feel safe. You feel some kind of fear, or self-trust isn't there, so it's like you try to control. And that's all it is. It's quite simple. And working with it, when you look at it, you could be like, okay, so, what role does control play in this? And do I want it to play that role? And how do I want to change it? Because it feels like with the cycles, your awareness of that is really starting to come online. So I'm just trying to decide on if I need to pull any more cards with that. I don't. I feel like that was what you were releasing, the challenge in it, the advice in it. So I'm going to go to what you are embracing. This one, it looks like it might be awful, right? But it's not. And then I just heard the word strange. Interesting. Strange. Okay, where are you taking me, Spirit? Strange occurrences. Interesting. Okay, so what that feels like with the resistance card and strange occurrences, it's almost like certain things or events or people or something, you're experiencing it in a strange way. I don't know. So maybe that was more specifically for one or two of you, but I'm just going to, because now I'm looking at these little birds that are around the trees and the growth and stuff, and they're standing out to me the most. And I don't know if I've seen them in this card before at all. Strange occurrences. Okay, so as I'm looking at the birds, I'm thinking, okay, there's spirit around. And like your spirit guides are around you. And you got several of them, but they're around you. And you might be encountering some strange occurrences in regards to your spirit guides trying to get messages to you or information or showing you that they're around, or, any ways that you have developed with spirit to know that spirit's around. So some people it's feathers, some people it's dimes. There's a variety of ways that we can connect with spirit. It's not just feathers, it's not just dimes. It could be animals, it could be songs, it could be certain numbers, certain letters. I'm just seeing what else comes to mind. I'm thinking, or the word iron just popped into my mind. So if that resonates with anybody, there's a little extra validation. But that's what that feels like. Strange occurrences, they're not so strange after all. So what's being embraced is maybe more openness to the strange occurrences. That does feel like a message that isn't for all, but for a good portion. So what is being embraced? It feels like the resistance towards growth. You're starting to let go of the fears that you have. It's okay. So I'm getting like the story in my head, or like a little play. And it's like somebody who is scared of something and that, oh, I can't do that. That's too scary. I can't do that. That's too scary. Or I don't want that to happen. That'd be scary. That would be much too scary. And then realizing it's actually not that scary. And that resistance is starting to lessen. It's starting to get lighter. King of Pentacles and the Page of Swords. It feels like starting to see and cut away the resistance from fear, and allowing yourself to be more emboldened and empowered. Interesting. I heard, and I again don't think that this is going to resonate with everybody, but I did hear it, so I do want to say it. Life after death. So I don't really know what that means. It could mean a variety of things. Life after death. So I don't know, maybe you went through a stage where you felt like there wasn't so much life happening for you, and you had a rebirth, and now you feel like life is happening again. Or you're wondering if life is going to happen again if you're going through that rebirth. It could mean the literal, there is life after death. If you needed that message from any of your loved ones, there absolutely is. But it feels like cutting away the fear to allow growth, and releasing resistance to embrace emboldenment and empowerment and confidence and leadership, to be honest, and feeling like leadership energy. So that is what is being embraced for pile number 1, released and embraced. Thank you so much for being here. If you could hit like and subscribe, I would truly, truly appreciate it. And I will see you next time. Bye for now. Hi, pile number 2. So let's take a look at your cards. And for this one, I heard, when I pulled these 2 cards, there was a refinement that was happening. And that refinement was helping you to be more into your own self. And it's helping you to find balance. So that was one of the messages. So this is what is being released, and this is what's being embraced. So let's start with released. And we got the balance card. And what I felt from this one is, and I just heard topsy-turvy. So what is being released is the different ways. It feels like more a reaction energy towards maybe situations or life. It's like, oh, I gotta do the dishes. Oh, I gotta do this. Oh, I'm one person. Oh, like it feels like that. It feels reactionary to life when life feels not balanced. And it feels like that's what you are learning to release and learning to embrace more balance in your life. I'm just sitting with the card to see if I need to pull more cards. I'm getting the energy of somebody who's working on like a level of life mastery, I guess you could say, for lack of a better word, to be honest. But it's like learning how something is not working and not functioning, and then going through the process of learning what does work and what does make things function well. And it feels like a really long time of learning this. And I'm getting that refinement energy again. And it's like each time that you come back to finding balance, you're learning a different way or different ways to refine the way that you incorporate balance in your day-to-day life. Okay, so what is the challenge of this release? Woo! The Nine of Cups. I heard you could feel joy too. You could feel joy too. So the Nine of Cups talks about somebody who like filled their cups up so full that now they can share with others around them. So sharing emotion, sharing connections, friendship, resources. Because what I'm getting with that is it almost feels like there's an overgiving with that energy, and learning to balance your own needs first so that you can fill up your cups before you start, or not even before, just, rest, self-care. Self-care isn't always bubble baths and, eating that delicious cake that I have been wanting for a week. It's self-care, eating that nutritious meal, saying no to being asked to do something that you don't want to do and don't have the energy reserves to do. Trying to think of other ways. It just self-care. Google it. No, it feels like how you fill up the cups of others, you need to remember to fill your cup up too. So it's not that you stop filling up the cup of others, because I honestly feel like with this pile, it wouldn't make you feel very good. It feels like that's kind of intrinsically who you are. You're caring, you're compassionate, and you're kind, and you like to help, and you like to love. And it's like, okay, but you got to do all those things towards yourself too, because you deserve those energies as well. You have to keep that balance, or you're going to feel off balanced, and it's a terrible feeling. But I'm again getting that refinement word, and it feels like this is what you are learning. So it's just taking a deeper look at your relationship with giving and how you set your boundaries, and like healthy boundaries, and what it is that you need to make you feel refreshed and replenished and nurtured. So that is what's being released, is that imbalance, and learning to put yourself as just as important as everybody else. That does feel like the main. And I feel like that's the advice, to be honest. So I'm going to move on to what is being embraced. And what's being embraced is sovereignty. And sovereignty of self is being your own guidance, being your own, I keep on wanting to say waymaker, but I'm like, what is that? Waymaker, way shower, leader, lover, entrepreneur for those who it applies to, lesson learner, education, seeker, all those things. It's like you're learning to stand in your own light, and you're starting to embrace that more. And that's freaking awesome. And now they're directing me to the sunstone. And it's interesting with this pile because I haven't used the sunstone in a while, but I have before. And I never realized there's actually, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it on the camera, that's amethyst. I never seen that before. It is amethyst. So you got amethyst in with the sunstone, which is absolutely incredible and blowing my mind, especially the fact that I didn't see that before. So sunstone works with, and this is the moon, right? But the sunstone works with the sun. It works with energy and motivation and ambition and leadership and confidence and empowerment and strength. And the amethyst in there, which kind of blows my mind, is more towards the moon side, I guess you could say, the intuition, the calm, the I'm just seeing if I'm going to get any specific information, not just from my memory. But it feels like utilizing a third eye along with the sun energy to help guide you towards your own leadership, in all honesty. So what is the challenge with this? This is beautiful energy. I love it so much. Wow. Independence. Working hard. Like you got 2 9s, and these are great 9s to get. So like, good job. If you don't hear it enough, good job. We got the world and we got the moon. We got the world. So the challenge. So it's interesting. It says right here, see through illusions and deceptions. And I automatically looked at the 9 of Pentacles. So whatever it is, I don't know if you'll be able to see these cards. There. Should be okay. 9 of Pentacles is somebody who is very independent. They can be single. It doesn't always mean that case. It's just they're very independent and they've worked really hard at what it is that they have in life. And they like enjoying that. And that's a challenge. And it's like seeing through the illusions and deceptions. It feels like the energy of somebody who might feel like they aren't enough. And this is a hard one to explain. Wow. Let me find my words. And then I heard shy away. I'm getting a little story, so I'll just explain the story and then hopefully that makes more sense than what my words are right now. And the story is like somebody who has cultivated and created so much, and they share and they give and, you know, they provide and they love and, you know, all the stuff around them. And they still don't feel enough, or they still don't feel like they have enough to give. Or yeah, it feels like that. And then with the moon, the see-through illusions and deceptions, it's like seeing yourself. And it makes sense because that's like an empowerment, a hard time embracing empowerment, confidence. And then we have the Sunstone, which does talk about empowerment and confidence. And I also feel for some of you, because I'm reading the enjoy, because this is the challenge. Enjoy all the rewards of your hard work. I'm feeling a little bit of energy of guilt. Like, oh, I have all of this and others don't, so I need to share it. Like that kind of energy. And then we have the World card. And what I'm just getting from that one is it's challenging to end this way of thinking so that it's almost like it's getting in your way of embracing that confidence and that leadership energy and that I'm enough and I can guide myself and I trust my intuition and I trust myself. It's like these are getting in the way. And the challenge is moving out of that cycle. So what is the advice? Okay, so I got a bunch. Heart healing, compassion, cycles, relationship healing, and purification. Oh, it's really beautiful. And that came out fast. That's 5 cards. Oh my God. We got the Moonstone and the Moon and the Moon. So what I'm getting from that, as soon as I finished saying that, because I was like, oh, and we have the Sun card too. It felt directed to the Moon. The subconscious is more important to focus on right now, or like in this specific part. But the Sunstone still plays a role. Like the Sun energy, the consciousness still plays a role. It's just the Moon is playing a bigger role right now. And it's looking at those cycles, the heart healing, the relationship healing, looking at I hope that for whoever resonates with this knows that I'm sending them a big hug. But I heard guilt with the heart healing and the relationship healing. Whether that is your guilt or somebody else's guilt, either which way, they're both difficult to move through, but not impossible, and very amazing when you start to make some, or start with some healing in there. Woo, okay, I'm starting to get channeled, so I'm just going to flow. The compassion that you so freely give to others, it might be coming from a place of feeling guilty or shame or not enough, or, you know, like you need to keep on giving because maybe you were made to feel like you take too much. You're too needy, or you're, you know, hard to provide for. So when you have lots, it's like, oh, I don't deserve all of this, so I need to give it away kind of thing, right? So it's like a cycle that is happening around you. And the main message is purification. So purification is just like, you know, seeing it and sitting with it. And if you need to talk to a counselor about it, please do that. They're helpful. And showing yourself some compassion. Learning the ways that you aren't too much. And not even learning the ways, just learning, period, that you're not too much and that you're enough. And you don't take from others when, things are good for you. It's glorious when that happens. It inspires others. It causes ripples all around you. And people love that. And those that don't, it's just triggering them. And we got to learn to be comfortable with others being triggered when good things happen to us. And not put it on our shoulders. And that compassion you so freely give to others, give to yourself. Okay, so I feel like I'm just going to start repeating at this point. So I'm going to end the reading here for pile number 2. I hope it helped. And I send you so much love. Thank you so much for being here. If you can hit like and subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Bye for now. Hi, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. Let's take a look at your cards. Okay. I do feel a connection with this pile to another pile, but I'm going to let you intuitively pick that one yourself. And I'm just sitting with it to see what I feel. So we have what is being released first. And we have the discernment card. I also heard the word walnut, and I can't tell you what that means. So that could be like a validation for somebody who's maybe eating them or cooking with them or craving them, or I don't know. Walnut. Cracking a walnut. I don't know. Very interesting. A walnut. Maybe you cracked a hard shell and you're releasing it and learning more discernment. Ooh. So it's way different energy that I'm feeling with this one compared to the other piles that I have done. This one feels very, try to find the kindest words because it feels like somebody who's already very hard on themselves. I feel somebody who's more internalized, I guess you could say, like your inner world is much more than your outer world. And it doesn't feel like your inner world is always the kindest to you. And I'm getting a feeling sometimes when I'm doing a reading for somebody, I get the energy of somebody who doesn't really want to be seen, who doesn't really want to know, or is scared to be seen or scared to know like what spirit sees or like what spirit knows kind of thing. And when the cards come out, it's like they're not alive to me. They're not showing me. They're just the literal card itself. And it's usually indicative to me of somebody who has a little bit more of a closed off energy. And now the walnut is kind of making sense because it's like, you know, a hard shell to crack, a hard nut to crack. Very guarded energy. And for that to come through, oh, and now it's like my throat has got like the biggest tickle in there. Ugh. So maybe you have a hard time speaking up or communicating, sharing. It feels like somebody who has a really hard exterior and they have a hard time letting people in through their hard exterior. This is not to like, my voice, this is not to make you feel bad or like you're doing something wrong or like none of that whatsoever, because that develops for reasons. Your feelings, how you deal with your life, how you act in your life, all of it. It's valid. There's reasons. Awareness can help with sorting through our experiences and choosing the experiences that we want to have and navigating them in a way that is more clear and feels more safe and feels like more boundaries without having to close yourself off, is what I'm getting from this. So it's like the release of that hard exterior. It feels like this is something that is happening. I'm trying to find the words for this because I'm getting more stories than anything. And the story that I'm getting is like somebody sitting in front of me who has a really hard exterior, and it's like hard to get to know them, hard to understand, you know, their depths, that kind of stuff, but you can feel great things from them. They're nice. It doesn't feel terrible, but you're just having a hard time getting close to them and not really feeling like it could go further. And then that person with that hard shell sitting there going, why can't anybody love me? And it feels like the realization of, oh, maybe my, you know, defenses are too strong. And like, maybe I need to look at those defenses and see how it's preventing me from having closeness with others that I don't have and sincerely want. That's what that feels like. It's like the release of one hard exterior for a different kind of exterior, where instead it's using self-trust, building self-trust and healthy boundaries, so that with situations, with that discernment word that's now jumping right at me, you can see what resonates with you and what doesn't. And you can feel when something is off and trust in yourself to figure out what that is so that you can make the best decisions for yourself. So you don't need to guard yourself so hard with that exterior, because you're learning how to create a healthier one. Because when we protect ourselves like that, there's always reasons. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, you could just stop with that. No, it's there for a reason. I respect your reason. Seeing how it plays a role in your life and how it prevents what it is that you were wanting, which honestly, it feels like relationships with others. That could be romantic, friendship, family ship, whatever, with our kids, with our, like whatever. I also heard siblings. Yeah, you're releasing that walnut shell. It's cracking. It's being cracked, and learning how to create a different kind of boundary where you could start to have those relationships that have a deeper connection, where you can show and receive more love. Okay, so that's what's being released for that. I'm not going to pull any other cards. That was a straight channel. Let's see what this one does. I'm kind of liking the straight channelings. So what to embrace? And we got fear. What to embrace, or what you are embracing. Ooh, I just got the chills, and I felt strongly like crying. And I heard, because I'm looking at these birds, and I heard, it's like a song, but I heard it differently. Freebird? Freebird? I don't know. There's been ways that you held on to okay, so going with the story again, because I'm having a hard time finding the words, so I'm just going to go with the story. I'm looking at these birds, and she's holding on to them with a string. And what I see with these birds is each one of them represents some form of freedom. And it's like they're being tied back, but you're choosing that. You're choosing to not be so free. And it could be because it's scary. It could be, for whatever reasons. For some of you, not all, very select few of you, I do feel the energy of addiction. So I just wanted to put that in there, and not as a shame, but as you were seen and you were loved. But it feels like embracing more freedom, and that feels like making different choices and decisions that foster more growth and a feeling of freedom, and not being so tied down to what scares you or creates massive amounts of anxiety or depression, or like that kind of energy. Because with that fear, I'm getting that sadness, that stuck. I just heard like an inner turmoil, kind of like chaos energy, I guess you could say. But it feels quite heavy. It feels quite heavy, and it feels like you're embracing more ways to release what ties down your soul, what ties you down to those feelings of despair and sadness and anxiety, and perhaps some addictions. But you are embracing the ways to move through it. I am also being guided to show the light. Like we have the moon, but we have a light right here. There's hope. There's hope. For whoever this resonates with, I promise you, there's hope. It does get better. One release of action or choice or decision that's based in that fear energy at a time. Okay. It does get better. Okay, so that is all I have for pile number 3. I send you so much love and the biggest hugs. Thank you so much for being here. If you could hit like and subscribe, I would really appreciate it. And I will see you next time. Bye for now. Hi, pile number 4. Welcome to your reading. The Green Aventurine. And I think this one came with more. Yes. So, for what are you releasing? You got release. What you're embracing is fruition and the path. So I'm just going to sit with this to see if there's more cards. I think I'm pulling more cards for the release one. So for this to be in the release position and it's the release energy, this just makes me feel like it's incredibly intensified on how much you are releasing. And I don't even think I've seen that before, but there's like a whole bunch of butterflies right there. Like, I don't know if you can see that. A whole bunch. Tons and tons and tons of butterflies. And that's what I'm getting from this card, is like a whole bunch of transformations, a whole bunch of letting go, a whole bunch of maybe some shit has hit the ceiling or hit the fan or whatever the saying is. But it feels like there's a whole bunch of things that are in the process of transmuting from one form to another, that are releasing, that is transformation. And it's huge. And this would be the year to do that, in year 9. I'm kind of feeling like for whoever resonates with this, it's almost like, here I am with these stories again. It's like this person who's been holding on and holding on and holding on and holding on, but wanting to break free and transform or have different experiences or let go of really hard, difficult situations, or like whatever it is to you. And it feels like I'm getting somebody who has been trying to do that for a really long time. And then it's like all of a sudden, now is the time to go through release, 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 transformation, release, letting go, moving through, seeing something you didn't see before and moving in, a new cycle, a different direction, away from, like whatever resonates for you, but it feels like a whole bunch. It feels like a lot is basically what I'm trying to say. So, what is the challenge with this release? What is the challenge with this release? endurance. So I felt like it was over a long period of time. And we got the elephant. Oh, I love it. I'm going to move these to the side so I can just focus on the release pile. And we have moving through obstacles, strength, majesty, endurance, overcoming. You have what is needed. It feels so powerful. So does this card. Like just this part right here, it feels so powerful, but it feels like it's been a long journey. It's been a long path, a long process. You've been trying to or working on it for a long period of time. And it feels like it's working. Woo. Fell down. And we got Okapi, destiny unfolding, meaning behind everything, aligned, fated meeting or situation. So what the aligned and the destiny unfolding, I was getting that feeling again of like it taking so long to feel that way. And you might have been feeling deep down inside like, oh, there's something better. There's something better. So I'm going to keep working at this. I'm going to keep working at this because I know there's something better ahead for me than this experience right now. So I'm going to move through this difficult experience like the elephant that creates their own paths. They move trees and rocks right out of the way and they create their own paths. And that's hard work and it takes time. And it feels like that is what's going on with this. And the fated meeting or situation, that could be different for each of you. So I'm not going to dig too much into that. Spiritual messenger, the bigger picture, deeper perspective, leadership, student, and the teacher. This journey, as much as we can look at it as incredibly difficult, like the elephant sitting there trying to rip a tree out of the ground to make a path, we could sit there and look at, oh my God, that was so hard. But then you could see the muscles that that elephant acquired, the path that opened up to them, the bounty that was had because of that path opening up to them. Like looking at the bigger picture feels like it will help you with finding peace with this situation. Because I do feel somebody who's like, it has been so hard and so long and maybe you're tired. Maybe you're tired. And then now it's the eagle. This is the eagle. Looking at things in a different perspective. Like, what an incredible experience to be able to, because not everybody gets here, release all that you held on to that held you back and wasn't growing, and releasing that and having all of these experiences that have transformed you into who you are right now, and finding gratitude for the experience can help you change your perspective of the experience. We don't have to like all the crap that happened to us, but we can see how we could see the positive. I keep on wanting to say reflectors. Positive, and my light is going crazy. It's like blinking like crazy. Seeing the positive, what is the word? I'm having a hard time with words. The positive actions, the positive integrations, thank you, Spirit, that happen deep within us that we didn't have before, the knowledge that we have now that we didn't have before. So moving forward with all of that integration and knowledge can only help us. I'm like, do I need another? No, I'm going to leave it at that. Okay, so let's move on to what is being embraced. So I'm just going to move this to the side and bring these up. We have fruition and the path. And I feel a big connection with this over to here. It was almost like this is one part of the story, and now what's unfolding is this part of the story. And it feels like you're fully there for this. It's just learning to take the steps towards it and trusting that you are moving into different energy, moving into newer energy. What this one feels like is all that hard work that you did, you're now reaping some of the rewards. You are learning to embrace those rewards that have happened from long journey learning difficult lessons. And it's bringing you to a new path, a new way forward. And like I'm getting the story of this is now becoming a part of your awareness. Because I'm looking at this girl and she's standing there. She's not on the ladder yet. She's standing there. And it's giving me that in-between world feeling where it's like not making or taking the action to get here because you're still recovering and processing from all of this release, from all of this transformation, from all of this hard work. But now you can see all of that hard work that you did, the bounty of it, how it's helped you, the benefits, the harvest. And it feels like that's where you're at right now. You're moving out of that releasing energy and processing and healing and integrating and realizing and embracing and growing before you're moving into that new path. So what is the challenge with this? What is the challenge with this? Ouch. So what I'm getting with the Ace of Pentacles, because I wanted to say, ooh, new opportunities, but it feels like somebody who might want to rush into this because they could feel how close they are. Like it just feels like, here you go. Here's this new path. And it feels like somebody who wants to rush into it and be like, okay, let's do this. Let's do this. And you're still integrating. So this might be not happening as fast as you want it, but it is there because this wouldn't have come out if it wasn't there. New opportunities, prosperity, new ventures. But that processing still needs to happen. And it's okay if you're in there. You'll know when it's time to take that step. And you'll feel it. You will feel it. And it won't feel like a panic. I got to do it now because XYZ. It'll feel like, oh, I'm so ready for this. And it'll light you up. It won't stress you out. It won't feel like something you have to do. It'll feel like something you deeply want to do, and it's like smooth like butter. Okay, what is the advice? Got the King of Wands. Big picture, leader, overcoming obstacles. So this is all turning you into king energy, which this is not gender specific. It's just the energy of the card. And the King of Wands is somebody who is more confident, and they're a leader, and they're helpful to others. And like they have learned a lot of big lessons in order to get into that king energy so that they can share and teach and show and help and be that leader to those around them. And that's what that feels like. In the overcoming obstacles is standing out to me. So this could be you moving into a direction where you can help others also move through overcoming obstacles, showing them, way shower. Okay, so that is what I have for pile number 4. Thank you so much for being here. If you could hit like and subscribe, I would truly, truly appreciate it. Thank you so much. I will see you next time. Bye for now.